play innocent and you're charismatic and you smile and you get away with it and you made me fall for you and this is what's not fair. You knew it and you liked it.
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Bill Whitaker.
That's Keri Russell in Felicity, the series that made her a star. Now, Russell is playing the fictional American ambassador to the United Kingdom in the Netflix series The Diplomat, which earned her Emmy and Golden Globe nominations. Seth Doane caught up with her in London.
Is he quite all right? Give me that.
Keri Russell, literally acting as U.S. ambassador, was deftly balancing yet another diplomatic crisis.
Prime Minister.
Of course, this is a rented manor. The champagne is just a prop, and the plot, while plausible, was scripted.
Do you think this is over-glamorized in a way? Are you amping it up a little too much?
The diplomatic world? Well, yeah, it's TV. You gotta over-glamorize it. Everything takes so long.
But The Diplomat moves. In its first season, Keri Russell's character, Kate Wyler, was thrown into her role in London.
Come on in.
No pesky Senate confirmation required.
The president is asking you to serve as ambassador to the United Kingdom. We have a plane waiting. We'd like you to get on it.
No.
She literally tussles with her opinionated former ambassador husband, played by Rufus Sewell. The storyline parallels current events, Iran and a resurgent Russia.
You can come in. I need 17 plausible diplomatic retaliations to Russia.
It's just a world that we kind of don't know that much about, which is really interesting.
You're an actress. You go into other worlds for a living. Is there something different about this?
I think the State Department in general they're doing their job well when we don't hear about them. It's fun to get to peer a little bit behind the curtain.
So let's just run it on action.
And we got to peer behind the curtain of this hit Netflix show while they were shooting season 2, to be released later this month. In a grand room by a table prepared for a feast were settings for this TV show, the temporary office of series creator Deborah Cahn.
You're taking notes. I'm curious what you're taking notes on.
Reminding myself to, in a future script, follow up on something that's planted here.
It's just getting a header at the...
Hey, Jim, are we ready?
Cahn is used to scripting the way things go.
I think I don't want to say this. Roll back the tape. Okay, so...
You're not the boss of this show.
Can you open up to the camera a little bit?
The writer-producer has built a career making the politics, deal-making, and diplomacy of Washington sexy for TV audiences.
Are those classified documents?
In the CIA drama Homeland.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
And before that, the White House.
I was sort of raised on the West Wing as a writer and loved it, and loved that there was a way to talk about things that mattered in the world, but without making it feel sort of preachy or expositional. I thought that was just an incredible magic trick. And I really wanted to do the foreign policy version of that.
Jill's trying to reopen our diplomatic mission in Afghanistan. Jill is trying to get people out.
Will you open the newspaper now and say, ooh, this could be a good storyline for The Diplomat?
Every single day. Every single day.
When you read criticism that you've over-glamorized the State Department?
I'm okay with that. They could use a little glamorizing. I mean, they work really hard and they do good stuff, and absolutely nobody has any idea what they do.
I'm Felicity Porter.
Keri Russell became familiar to TV audiences in the title role of Felicity, a drama about college life. More recently, in the thriller The Americans, she played a Russian spy.
The Americans was so, stylized in a way, or at least my character was. It was all mood and vibe, kind of. And this is much more Fraggle Rock. I'm always spazzing out and saying things a mile a minute and all of that. It is such a different gear, and it's such a fun, different gear to play.
We glimpsed a bit of that ourselves.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
As she'd run from the set to our interview.
Sorry, that was stressful. We're here. There's so much rushing. There's crowd today. There's ah!
How is the pace of shooting this show?
The pace is fast, and I think the diplomatic nature of the dialogue is muscular and quick and fun if you can get it. Don't do pooling resources, do frank and targeted exchange of views. It's not just like, hey, how are you?
I think Keri Russell is absolutely perfect in my role.
Jane Hartley is actually the U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom.
One of the things I love about the show is, one, it is a female ambassador to the UK, and I am the second female ambassador to the UK, 2 in 200 years.
It must be interesting to have a spotlight shone on what you do.
Yeah, when I heard about it first, I was worried. I wanted to make sure that it got the substance right.
The American ambassador was nearly widowed last night.
And I think they do.
Have you been involved in affecting storylines?
They've checked with me on things.
Did you learn anything from her?
They're kind of unflappable, and I think that's what you have to be. You have to be really good in crisis and know how to manage many different types of people. And I think Jane really has that.
If you come up to my office on most days, it's pretty frenetic. We're pretty busy. Phones are ringing, people are running, papers are being shoved, and if you watch her show, it's the same thing. So they get the intensity right.
The only private garden in London larger than Winfield is Buckingham Palace.
Even on my toughest days, and there are some that are tough, the world.
The ambassador took us around the real Winfield House.
I often sit outside.
And you've got this view.
And I got this view.
And told us there is one problem. Some visitors to the residence who've seen the show are expecting something more familiar.
They'll walk in and I can see them looking around, and I can see them thinking, well, this isn't how it is on the show. We had a wonderful dinner for Hillary here.
You made a tactical error.
Ambassador Jane Hartley says folks in the Foreign Service are definitely watching. And she's not the only one wondering if this TV show might spark interest in the next generation of diplomats.
You never know what's going to touch people.
It's like a little look in, and maybe it'll get, the smart kids at school will go, oh, I'd like to do that. So that's what I think it could be, a little eye-opening. Like Felicity recruited kids for NYU, maybe this will recruit diplomats and to work for the State Department.